It's the first loss we can say it was on Carson Wentz. It was his worst game of the season, even though we threw 3 touchdown passes. I don't know how many yards did he throw?
I think it was like high two something, like 260 something, maybe 250 something. But yeah, you said it. This is the first time all year where we can actually say a loss is because of Carson Wentz play. Because honestly, all the other ones, like you can make a case that none of them were as a result of Carson Wentz's play. There was a lot of other stuff in the game. But this one, 100%, he made a lot of mistakes. And honestly, the whole game, regardless of the 2 picks and those turnovers, he played terrible, underthrowing, overthrowing. Some of the underthrows resulting in pass interferences, which we'll take all the time, but just not on target, not accurate. Um, just an off. Little, he looked shaky. Would you say he looked shaky?
Yeah, he looked a little shaky. I mean, we didn't have really any receivers out there after T.Y. went down. I mean, obviously you got
And
Pittman.
that's honestly that's something like I haven't really seen or heard a lot of people talking about and mentioning today. That
Okay, listen. We have Pittman, Pascal. Pittman and Pascal. Okay, Pittman's obviously like he's wide receiver one. That's
yeah,
him. Pascal's he's proven that he can get touchdowns. That's really I think his main thing is just being reliable
yeah.
whenever you need him there. But he's not gonna make. He's proven that he won't make big plays on his own. Like if you give him the
Has it
ball,
felt that
he's not.
Carson has kind of got away from him a little bit? Because remember, he started the season really well, getting all those touchdowns, and then I feel like as Pittman has come up, he's not really even
He's
really.
realized that all you gotta do is his own. Pittman, I like Pittman is a dog, dude. He does not just. He's not gonna let someone go up there and grab it from him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
showed that on the freaking helmet in the middle of the field where he just went up with like that's like oh my
There was
god, that was a
four,
crazy catch.
maybe five Titan defenders there, and Pittman went up with ease and got it over him at
Yeah,
the
that
end of
was
the game to
insane.
tie it at the end. But yeah, like we said, I just Wentz looked a little shaky. This was his first like real big time moment as a Colts quarterback. He could have went in there against the Rams to end it, but remember that's when we had to send Jacob Eason. And then
Yeah,
everything else has either been we're down. He hasn't really had that end of game big time moment, especially we all know the complications with the it being an AFC South game and it's the Titans. But
yeah.
he didn't really show up when we needed him the most. He did march us down the field again at the very end of the game, but I think he
Thanks to Pittman.
100%, yeah. And they actually ran the ball with Jonathan Taylor at the end. Direct snap to Naheem Hines. Look what happens.
Yeah. I think this is something that I like kind of was thinking about. Um so the real receivers out there, you got Michael Pittman Jr., Pascal, and then after Pascal, it's just Doolin. Like
Yeah,
that's real. I mean, but the thing is Doolin. Okay, Pascal, he's a good receiver to have wide receiver 2 or 3. He's a good receiver. Ashton Doolin. I mean, I don't really know too much about him, but he obviously hasn't shown out too much. You got Kyle Granson. You got 3 good tight ends that are. I mean, Kyle Granson, I'm not too high on as a receiving tight end. But the big thing that I think that we should do is I think we should get Naheem more in the slot if that sounds right.
I
So
mean,
like
we just got to get Hines more touches in general, but keep going.
we're giving him the little screen passes and going, and I do like it because he's a speedy guy. But what happens when you start? I mean, actually, I think about it. He did drop a catch downfield this year, but if you're like, let's
He
have him go
did.
deep. He's gonna outrun everyone if he goes straight. Like, what happens if Naeem Hines just all of a sudden takes off? That's something that no one's gonna really expect. I don't
Okay, I
think.
have a question for you. So, 3 active receivers yesterday when T.Y. Hilton went down. 3 active when we have remember who we were super high on coming into the season through training camp? Mike Strong.
Ooh,
He's
what
been a
happened to
he's been a
him?
healthy scratch, which means he's not on the active like game list or whatever it is that game, but he's not injured, he's healthy. And just because I feel like the team doesn't think he's ready for the NFL kind of thing because his kind of backstory, he hadn't played the previous season, whatever. But when we have why when we don't have the depth, Paris Campbell's out, T.Y. Hilton's now out. We had 3 active receivers yesterday with Mike Strawn not even dressed. Why
Mike
is he
Stroud
not
had
getting
2
in?
receptions week 1. If he's not ready, why are you playing him
Remember
week
his
1? That's
first reception of his NFL career was that third down, like it was a third and long against the
yep on the
Seahawks the
left.
first game.
Yep.
Like why
He had he had
throw him
more
out
catches than
there?
Paris Campbell that game.
That just doesn't. I don't understand that because we don't have the receivers. I mean, we have Pittman, but then there's that significant drop off after that, and then
Do you
it's.
think
Go ahead.
this is completely getting off the subject a little bit, but like, do you think okay, three options. Think the Colts trade for a wide receiver eventually, they sign a big one in the free agencies, or do they draft one?
Well, I was interested to see if they'll make a because the trade deadline ends in like maybe today or in the next coming days, and I'm interested to see if they make a play at a receiver. I'm wondering if yesterday's loss specifically kind of opened their eyes. Maybe they need one, especially
Maybe
with T.Y.
Deshaun
Hilton going
Jackson?
down again. That's remember I texted you that. I'm not saying get
Yeah.
him because he is old and whatever, but I think in general the Colts should probably look to get another receiver, at least explore the options.